now entered a generation where farming is no longer the normal. Farms that once were full generations, decades of history, were becoming no more. It has now become a rarity to see a farm turned over before the end of one generation. Found Cal Walker's story. He has been gone for over a decade serving his country, and was recently given the news when his father's passing. With his siblings and his mother not interested in taking the farm on, he now has to make a decision: carry on the farm's name, or to sell and move on. But it goes without saying, simple no left by his father. The will stated, "Please do not sell this. Continue on, push forward. For a war speak lives in you know. For in this soil, there's more than the blood and sweat of this family." You must fight for the last acre.
I never planned to come back, but when your old man leaves you the land no one wants to touch, you pack your bags. This place was always broken. The fences, the family. But now I've got almost 40 acres. Busted combine, according to this report. Some busted tractors. And a question no one else will answer. Why did he tell me to never sell this? And why did he pick me? I haven't been back here in over a decade. The house needs some serious attention. Especially that roof. But he's let this all just overgrown. Doesn't look like he's been mowing it. He's got our 4 fields right here. Like I said, in all, I think this comes to about 35 or so acres, give or take. And it looks like the silo's still holding up from when I was a kid. He's still running the 1455 International. I don't remember him having the sunflower, though. And there's that New Holland combine. This old girl has been through it all. I can't believe he hasn't parted ways with this. We'll need this surely, because what I hear is we're not far away from harvest. The old truck still running, still got the old grain trailer. Barn, though, pretty empty. It's got the chisel plow, baler, and just one wagon. There. I haven't seen this old girl in a long time. This one, there's a note. This hasn't run in almost a year. It's interesting that it's still in the shed just hanging out here. Definitely have to figure that out going forward. Haven't been able to get it to run is what he said on the paperwork. But interesting enough, I was given all the keys. I never saw a key for that one. It's a new addition that he must have got while I was gone. New windrower beats that old rusty rake one. But that just about looks like all we got here. Like I said, we got the 2 silos. About, give or take, 26 acres of farmable land right now. I mean, you could count this. We could probably extend these. But this place hasn't changed much. Just more rust and less reason to stay. Which is why I don't know why he said not to sell it. We'll just have to look into it and figure it out a little more, ask around. Sheriff Walt said he'll be down a bit to talk to me. He's got some more paperwork for me, I guess, and get something my father left him to pass on to me. Speaking of, got a phone call coming in right now from Frank the contractor.
There you go.
Hey Frank, how you been? It's been a while.
Sure has.
I did see a piece of equipment down the road. I'm assuming you want me to do the field right there next to you, right?
I do.
That'd be great. I think that'll definitely help out. We don't have much money here. Not selling a lot of this, and I don't know what to expect from these crops, but I mean, he had almost everything paid off though, so which is this kind of confusing point, is how he was doing so well in some ways and not so well in others.
Yeah, you're a mysterious man, that's for sure.
But I see that these some of these contracts you got for me will help cover our turnover, the seed that we're gonna need to put into this, and some of the investments we'll have to do to keep this going. So let me know if you get more contracts. Thank you, Frank.
No problem. I'll be in touch, Cal, when the Melody done those jobs.
And farm equipment sure has changed since I last was farming over a decade ago. Maybe even more. Maybe longer than that. I'm trying to think. I left, joined the service at 18, and oh no, we're getting flagged down over here. Oh boy, she looks very angry. I think that's a Granger. Is that Josie? Yes, Josie. Hey Josie, how are you? It's been a while. I don't know if you heard, but I'm moving back. Oh, you have heard.
I am back.
I'm moving back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean that you should get land.
Your father took our land.
Land from who? No. This land is...
Those markers and those...
This land is... what we have is what we have.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
My father's never expanded other than what he's bought.
Just move the markers.
And that's where the stakes were. That's where the land was marked. The boundary lines are set.
Okay, I'm telling you, bro.
I mean, it was even just verified in the will, so I'm confused what you're talking about.
No, I'll show you. I'll send you over the boundary lines. You'll see.
I'm sorry, I'll finish this contract. I was not aware this would be a conflict here.
Yeah, I'll track my land.
I'll finish this contract for Frank and I'll move on. I won't do any more of these on this side of the land. Thank you. Have a good day, Josie.
Now.
Oh, looks like somebody's at the house. Hopefully not Josie with more stuff about the property lines and all that. Actually, you know what? That looks like the sheriff's truck. Somebody ain't got the cruiser. I don't see him in there, though. Actually, the lights on in the house. Let's go take a gander.
Howdy, Cal.
Howdy, Sheriff. How'd you get in the house?
Had a key. Father always gave me a key just in case something came up. You know how it goes around here.
Well, that's interesting. Didn't know anybody else had another key to this house. I appreciate you bringing the rifle by.
No problem. I know how much of it to your father and wanted to keep it a safe keep until you got back in town officially.
I appreciate that. I do have one question. I was doing a contract with Frank today, and he's over on the Granger farm, and she stopped me. She saw me doing the contract, and she brought up that my father took land. That he's over the marked land on that plot 11. Apparently, the stakes aren't correct there, is what she was saying, and that she's going to get that land back.
Yeah, since she took over the ranger farm, she's been on a mission.
Do you know if she has anything to do with what had been going on with my father's equipment, where it was dying on him a lot?
There's been some accusations back and forth between them. I know definitely added stress level up in our department as well. Don't forget, things go wrong quick out here.
Understood. Thank you, Sheriff.
I'm new one, Carol.
It's crazy to think I own all this. After all the years, I despise this land. But now, it all kind of makes a little sense. I thought this was about inheritance. Turns out it's more about guilt. What we bury so the crops can grow straight. I'm hoping tomorrow brings more answers on what's been going on here. And I'm hoping these harvests turns out in our favor. We'll make some money on contracting, but seems like Frank's already got a pretty solid crew helping him, so it's going to be hard to get contracts at times. Just have to take it day by day.
They say blood runs thicker than water. But out here, water feeds the crops. And everyone wants more than their share. Welcome to Episode 2, The Boundary Line.
Well, our first harvest back home is officially done. I don't think it's gonna make us rich, but the yield went better than I thought it would. We had a couple issues, some things to navigate, but we got it done. That's kind of the important thing, right? Now, when I say we had issues, I talk about how this land has its ways. And I'm a little worried. The land that Josie approached us about and told us belonged to their farm, and that my father moved the stakes and took it, is right here. Out of our 4 fields, this is the one that did not take. It's probably the best looking field of all, up until right before harvest. It looks like it's been burned out. Almost like it was given a good chemical burn. From reading some of the notes, this is not the first time this has happened. Is it the soil? I don't know. But luckily we've had some help from Frank. He's got his guys doing some contracts elsewhere, and knowing our predicament, he said he could come help out. He couldn't bring any of his own equipment, but he was willing to help us out with the equipment he had. So we were able to get the John Deere up and running. Found the key. Never guessed where that was. Yep, it was sitting on the fuel canister over there. So we'll unload this. And I think this is going to put us at a pretty decent amount. Pop out of here. 118,000 liters of barley between these 3 fields. We've done pretty well, if you ask me. We'll get some tillage done. I think over there. Get that all turned over. This should all be able to be no-till after. So that's kind of my plan there. And hope that it all, aligns for us. Really like to get some data on the land as well to help understand why did that field not work. Why did we fall short there? I think the other thing we need to do this month is we need to really take a look at the boundary lines. Frank mentioned one of his guys has a drone that we could use to kind of fly around and digitally map everything out as well. I think I might grab a metal detector and just kind of walk the lines that, have been drawn out on both maps that I've heard about. Josie says she's bringing over a copy of the one she has all the way back from 94 when the last land changes were done out here. So we'll just have to kind of play it by ear. But I think what I'm going to do is go take over Frank right now. And then maybe later tonight after I have a nice meal, probably get to turning that soil over. Well, we have a problem. Here we are in the middle of September. We were able to get a harvest out of the way. It wasn't much, but it wasn't terrible either. It's enough to feel like the land was listening again, even if someone else was too. Because our lines were cut this morning, as you can see right there. That one's no longer connected. I got a plug on it because it was leaking. We're not unable to fire up the international. And the problem is our John Deere also doesn't have enough power for us to work that field. But then you come in here, right? Notice something missing? Yep. Just when I thought we had this baby up and running, we're missing a component on the front now. You can kind of see right there the snipped hose that runs through. Yeah. So even though it's still under power, I was hoping maybe we could try and get by. We're going to have to give the sheriff a call and kind of have the conversation. So let's ring him up right now. Hey, Sheriff, it's Cal.
Morning, Cal.
Yeah, I'm calling because I just tried to get an early morning start on turning over that field that looks like it was chemically burned, which is a whole nother issue to itself. I'm a little concerned that somebody's trying to completely sabotage me here.
I will send a deputy over. Happens a lot when old fences move. People get territorial.
Yeah, that'd be great if you or a deputy could head over and just take a couple pictures of this. I'll take some pictures too, but I'm going to have to try to get one of these up and running. See if maybe Frank can help me out with part collection or something.
Glad Frank can help you out for now.
Yeah, I plan on looking at Josie's map later today and comparing it with a drone. One of Frank's employees has a drone I can use to map out from above and kind of make sure within the lines. And I'm going to go out with a metal detector later, I think.
Let me know what you find. Might be able to help Josie back off a bit during your busy season.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'll see you later.
Take care, Cal.
So that's a setback we weren't planning on. I guess we're not going to get started on stuff today because we definitely can't start planning until we have this in, which is very unfortunate. If you know, you know, right? Yeah, so I guess for right now, we'll kind of just look over the map and take it from there. And I'll just show you guys the boundary lines compared to what Josie's saying are the boundary lines, or were the boundary lines. A lot of hypotheticals on the table. Let's go take a look at that while we wait for our parts to come in. So looking at these property lines, you kind of see, like, you know, none of this stuff that she has, which I have hers in, you know, the green line and mine in the red line, none of it really is an issue down here on 3 and 2. Field 10, still the same. But it's like we took off a big chunk right here just above the 11 on field 11. She's saying all that was Timber and Sage Ranch, or with the Grangers. And it's just weird to me that this field is the one that looks like it has chemical burning. We weren't able to harvest. Now we got to turn it all over. Just something for us to think about. Like I said, we're going to take a metal detector out there and run above that. And I think the other thing we can look at too is, you know, get an actual drone out there and just kind of fly over and kind of see anything. I guess I'm not going to be able to get the drone until probably late in the day. So we'll have to wait on that. But we'll go out there with a metal detector shortly. So right now we got the metal detector in hand. Like I said, kind of got a line point where to start. We know it's just above the field number. And it's kind of right there. Interesting enough, there's like a row in here. So I know it's right there, but what I want to check first is our actual property line right here. Which I don't understand because it kind of drops down in the valley here, but the land is like split. I feel like if their field is close to it. Our line is right here, almost to the edge of the field. Let's see. Oh. Ping. 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 Well, that was what, 4 in a row? Saying there's markers there now. So I'm pretty confident if we walk down here and stay on this line that we're supposed to be on. And let's turn this back on. Ping. Ping. So definitely there's definitely markers there now. Which kind of defeats what Josie's saying. I know we're out here kind of early working this out. Just kind of says right here should be the marker. I'm not getting anything. I'll just keep working through this. Ping. What? And it's not growing there, which is common with these markers. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did we miss something? Ping. Uh-oh. This is not good. Why were these markers moved? Or why are these markers not being... How did markers end up over there? There's markers in here still. See if we get any more. Why would he have moved these lines? I don't understand. You know, because it just doesn't add up. You know, the fences and markers are kind of funny. Ping. There's another one. But their fences are kind of funny because they're supposed to keep the world out, right? But all they really do is hide the truth inside. Which is... I'm very confused right now. What is going on? What is this hiding? Why? How did he gain... I mean, as far back as I can remember, I thought we always went to the end of this. And now I'm finding markers in here. Just enough to kind of leave an old boundary line. Ping. Oh no. That's not good. Keep checking here. That's it. So he dug up the edges, but he left the center ones. Or somebody, I mean, maybe my father didn't do this, but somebody has. Why are they trying to hide it like that? Something's not right. He had an old ledger I remember as a kid seeing, and that's how he knew where exactly everything was. But it wasn't in the house. It wasn't turned over with a will. It wasn't turned over with any of his items. The sheriff, the lawyers, none of them had that ledger. We need to find that ledger. It's just weird that that's missing, and now all this stuff's being disputed. And maybe it was being disputed before, like the sheriff said, but there's just a lot of weird stuff going on. This barley being no good, both of my work tractors having lines damaged. Hopefully Frank gets here soon. We get that fixed, get that stuff running. Would love to get some planning done. It's just weird. I mean, some things break from age. Others, though, seem to get helped along. So we're up and running. Finally. Big thanks to Frank. Getting these set up. We're going to get out here and start working this field. Kind of taking it from there. Like I said, just a lot of... Drop right across here. A lot of odd things this morning. Obviously, I gotta figure out. I've seen Josie kind of over there just observing. I'm a little worried about that, to be honest with you. Should have enough power to cultivate this over. No-till the rest. But we've gotta definitely turn this all over. It's just weird to me, like I said, everything going out here and, finding some markers out here is a bit worrisome. I'm hoping once we get that drone later to kind of do a flyover and kind of see where everything really sits and if there's anything we can see out there. Just kind of work through it, Probably don't need to fold this up, but we will when we get moved over and start working those other 3 fields now that this is planted. Should have probably did some precision soil test on this land. I did not. But that's on. Oh no. Here comes Josie. Wonder what could happen here.
Hi, Cal.
Hi, Josie.
Did you find time to review those boundary lines I dropped off on your steps?
I've looked over some of the boundary lines. They don't line up with each other.
That map was from '94. No updates had been made since with the county.
I cannot tell you when that map that I have was updated, but it came from the county, so I'd assume that's the most updated one.
I do not get why you want to keep this land. Crops keep dying on it.
I want to keep this land because what the county sent me says it is our land. And I'll work around the crops that are failing.
Would love to know when your map was made and who signed off on it. Out of respect for your loss, I will give you 1 month to sort this out.
As I said, this must be the most updated map to my knowledge because this is what the county gave me, so I'm not sure why the county hasn't given you the one they gave me. I don't know if we need to wait a month to sort this out because I think it's already sorted.
Take care now.
You have a good day as well. Well, that makes things a little interesting. Seemed very confident in that this land will never work unless she's running it again. Might want to share that with the sheriff after. But we'll get to playing this, and then I believe Frank said one of his guys is coming over with a drone in a little bit. So hopefully we can get a field or 2 done before then. Looks like the seed usage wasn't too bad. We'll just jump right in over here and get to no-tilling. Get this opened right up. There we go. Oh no. Is it not gonna let me no-till? Looks like it's working. Been a while since I've done this. I want to make sure we're doing it right here. Crop tape. Tell me barley. We'll have to go in and look. And see, I see growing. That's good, so we're good there. So yeah, we'll get to working on this until we get the drone and then see where we're at. Have our first planting done. We don't have anything to roll these in and really pack the beds. So for now, we'll just keep trucking along. Hopefully hear something back from the sheriff too on what we can do insurance-wise. So we got the drone. We're flying around. I'm not seeing any distinctive changes to the land. All's looking pretty good. I mean, looking around here, I don't see anything that says that should be really having issues with that crop. I mean, their cows kind of have a weird drainage situation, but it doesn't go there. It goes over another field here. But all looks pretty good. I'm not seeing anything that stands out. I mean, it's worth a look. Everything looks like it's lining up. Yeah, everything's on spot. We have our drainage there. That road's been closed for a while. They said, I think it's a couple of years. Oh, what's that? Zoom down here. Why is there... Whoa, somebody living back here? Wait a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Something's a little off. Let's bring this drone back and go investigate what that is in there. So we'll hop in the truck and we'll drive down there. It's just a little odd to me. Just doesn't make sense. Why did I not know about that before? I can go right around this sign. Try to figure out what that is. Got to walk here. Just through the ditch. Pretty dry right now. Probably should have called the sheriff. But again, I'm wondering what's going on. You know, there's a note one time I saw somewhere out here. Fences don't just keep cattle in, they keep the truth buried. I think I just dug up the first piece. What is this? Rice? Looks like somebody had been living here for a while. Oh, it's locked on the inside as well. I don't get it. This is interesting. We'll have to figure this out. Might have some tools I can bust that open. Oh, it never ends. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
This wasn't just a farm, it was leverage. Guilt and grain twisted together. And now Cal holds the match.
A man's past stay in the dirt. And when it's ledgered in ink and bound in guilt, it comes back with interest. I'm over here because there's been a lot of traffic by the house lately. And since I got into that little root cellar, which I still don't even know what that was used for, but we found a couple things in there. Cassette tape, which I need to find a cassette player to play that. But we also found the ledger that I've heard so much about from some people that my father, Emmett, was pretty good at maintaining. Here you see it's got crop schedules, livestock sales. No mention of the crop going bad like it has year after year, from what I've been told by people. Something's just not off. And you look at it here and you see these initials in a payment, FR. These don't line up with all the other farm expenses, and there's a continued monthly payment to this. I don't think it's Frank, though I don't know Frank's last name, but maybe that would make sense, but these are pretty fair-sized payments. It's almost like these are payoffs. It's just not adding up. Let's take this cassette player inside, hide the ledger here within the bales for now. And we'll go have a listen to it. I think there's an old cassette player in there. Shut these lights off. We'll head back into the house.
They were going to take it anyway, so I made a deal. Sold out one to save the Mini. But you can't sow poison and hope to harvest peace.
Well, looking at these fields, we've got an issue with weeds. I was hoping to avoid putting anything down, but I think we're going to have to do both chemical and go through with the harrow. Try to clean it up the best we can right now. Still would love to get this land tested. Get it set up for precision farming. That's the big thing all the new farmers are doing, and it seems to be working well. So that's just something I think we got to keep in mind now. And look how good the Granger farm looks over there. We got to do something to clean all this up. Get this looking good. My father did something because there was no weeds in what we harvested. Maybe Frank can reach out. Kind of want to talk to him more about what I found, but I don't know with how many people I should be sharing that information with yet. We'll have to wait and see. But I think we should work on that, get up that equipment. And then probably should finally go into town for once and get something to eat at a diner or something. So let's actually go do that. See if we can land some equipment, take care of our weed issue. Hopefully at a fair price, and then we'll head down into town, maybe Judith, and go to one of the diners. Now, if I remember right here on the edge of Bobson, there's a cafe. Oh yeah, it's still there. Yes, ma'am. Go over here and see. This place used to have a really good food growing up. Park right down here. Don't remember it ever being quite the drop off here. Let's go inside and get that club sandwich. See if it's still as good as it used to be.
Hal, sorry for your loss.
Hi, do I know you?
I knew your father. He knew how to handle problems, quietly.
I'm really not following what you're saying here. He never spoke to you.
I'm offering you a clean title, guaranteed a clean slate, and $100,000 for the northeast field. Take the deal, and we both walk away rich.
Yeah, I have no intention to make a deal with somebody I don't know. Right on the spot.
Let's make the deal tonight, right here.
Yeah, that's not happening.
It doesn't have to be messy, Cal. You sell me all the acres on Field 11, I help you clear the other 30. You walk away clean and wealthier than you could imagine.
Listen, I'm not selling, and I don't trust a man who speaks in percentages. You say you knew him, but he never spoke to you, and there's no documentation showing of any conversation or deal he has with you. You're pretty quick with condolences. I'm done my meal and need to get back to work. Take care.
Rourke's been circling this valley for years. Your daddy kept him at arm's length, with a rifle if needed. Whatever's in that ledger, don't bring it to the courthouse just yet. Some ghosts still draw breath around here.
Understood, Sheriff. I'll take that warning with caution. Frank came through. Got me a weeder. Cost us about $6,500, but now we can kind of get to work. So we'll get this set up, and I think we'll just work our way right around. Shouldn't take too long from what I was reading about how this works. Never actually really did this before, so should be rolling right through it. tire should be thin enough to go in between. I know it's got the old English markers on it, but it's alright. We'll just get to it though. I got some decisions to make with some of that info. Still just really thrown off by meeting this Eli character. Seems to have quite the law firm and realty business. Have to kind of make sense of that. And then sheriff's warning after to, keep what information I have under wraps. I'm a little confused though how he knew I had a ledger, because I hadn't mentioned that yet to him. It's a little interesting. I don't know, the guilt might just be getting to me, but I'm headed over to talk to Josie. We're due in court in a couple days, and I feel we gotta get this out of the way now. The farm just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But hopefully we can get this sorted. This could cost me everything though too. Evening, Josie. I think my father forged something, maybe everything.
That surprises you? He claimed land that wasn't his and buried a story nobody dared tell.
I apologize, and I do not yet know why he did this. It's confusing how the county has the lines the way he stated in the will. I recently thought it was you messing with my tractors and damaging my crop on field 11 with chemicals.
I appreciate your honesty, but know this. I have not been the one damaging your property. I remember my father once mentioning something similar happening to a farmer up north. Now the lands, houses, and an oil drill down the road.
Have you ever been approached by a realtor of some sort? I think he's also a lawyer named Eli Rourke.
Avoid him at all cost, Cal. He and his organization are the poisoned soil of this earth. I tell you what, take some time to look through the whole ledger and compare with some of the county historical records, not just the updated ones.
Will do.
Cal, for this harvest cycle, hold on to the field. If we confirm it's mine in writing, then 20% of your end crop sounds like a fair lease, isn't it?
Thank you, Josie. I think that would be good. I should have trusted you sooner. Take care now. My father wasn't just planting crops. He planted lies deep enough to survive the frost, and now I'm the one holding the shovel. I don't know if it was the right choice to let Josie know what I found, but it keeps us out of court, it seems, for a little longer, and maybe gives us a harvest to take. off that field that's undisputed. What would you all do? Would you take the option of selling out to Eli Rourke? Would you work a deal for long-term land usage with Josie? Would you bring all the facts forward to the county and to the sheriff? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank y'all for watching.
They say fire clears the old to make way for the new, but some fires don't burn clean. They spread, they consume, and they don't care what secrets turn to ash. Previous episode left us with answers that didn't feel real. Have Cal and Josie become allies in a time where it seems no one is honest with Cal? Will the next crops be enough profit to keep the likes of Eli Rourke at a distance? Was Cal's dad a far more troubling man than he knew him as? Welcome to episode 4, The Fire Line.
Oh, here we are. It's December. We've just sold off our barley. Unfortunately, the distilleries didn't want it. It wasn't up to the standard they wanted. We're able to make about 48,000 off of it, though. I think, 45,000, give or take, somewhere around there. So not too bad for the land we got. We've been taking care of a lot of the weeds, harrowing, or I should say hoeing, and yeah, we're just, it's been kind of quiet the last 2 months. I haven't heard from Rourke. He said he was no longer interested in the land, I guess. And he said, I can enjoy the sinking ship that it is, which I found interesting. Josie's been pretty patient. We've already paid her, a couple months in advance on the lease, just because I wanted to make sure that goodwill's held. We really haven't found much else, to be honest with you. We haven't had many job offerings to help us out with money either. It's been kind of slow all around. People have just kind of let me be since my little cafe scene with Rourke a couple months back. Mr. Eli Rourke. It's still been kind of a whole weird thing. We see the sheriff pretty often. He comes around. And maybe that's been enough to keep people out of here. I don't know. But we'll just continue on over these next couple months because we won't be able to do much. You see, a little bit of snowflakes starting to drop. Should be seeing snow soon. We'll kind of take it from there. Really think I need to get a lawnmower next year and try to clean up a lot of this. But other than that, we've been in good shape. I've kept some things hidden in the barn still. I don't think anybody's found them. Once the straw is able to sell, we'll definitely get that moved out, get us back over there. And there really hasn't been anything to really purchase for us. Maybe that old mower, would be nice. But we'll see. Kind of take it for what it is, Was hoping maybe Josie would have had some work for me I could help her out with, but I don't think we've fully earned that kind of trust with her, despite us kind of coming out and saying that our father looks like he was in the wrong from the ledgers I'm seeing. So let's go in, have a nice cup of joe, and make the most of these next couple months in the winter. Well, here we are. We made it to spring. It's March. I've gone through, got all the equipment double checked. Luckily, we haven't had any incidents since the one time somebody decided to try to sabotage us right before harvest. Our crop looks pretty good. We're seeing the barley prices go down in the market, unfortunately, but I think, this one's going to be a really good turnout on barley, and I think we can get the distilleries to purchase some off of us. We haven't really seen much for straw sales. We're holding out till we see a good market value for it, but yeah, we're ready. I mean, we're ready for the summer. We're ready for harvest. I feel really good. Like, it just seems like, us talking to Josie and making things right, it's just working out. Like I said, we will lose a little bit of the field over there after harvest, but it is what it is. I'm thankful that we get to take what's on it off of it for a small lease. And we got to look at the bright side of it. Oh, somebody's calling me. Who is this number?
Good day. Whom am I speaking with?
Hello, this is Cal.
Cal, it's Eli Rourke.
How are you, Eli? Thought you had left town the way I got quiet and never heard from you again.
Checking in, with barley prices dropping fast, as your lone crop.
Oh, I do understand that barley prices are way down and that's my only crop.
Might be a safe time to sell off some land.
The land just isn't for sale. I told you before and I'm telling you now. There's no deal here.
That is your loss, then.
I need to get back working on some things around my home. Take care. No. What is that? What is happening? What is happening? No. All our equipment's on fire. I don't know if I can save any of it. I should... Oh, no, the documents. That's right, the documents are in the hay barn. Oh, it's all on fire. No. Oh. Grab the ledger. No. No. This can't be happening right now. This can't be happening.
You think this was an accident? Out here, fire means a warning.
And who's warning me? Rourke? Maddox? Someone who doesn't want the truth found? Tell me, Josie. This is frustrating. I'm glad you came over, but it's all lost. Barn's already smoldering. No time to think. I grabbed what I could. I was able to save part of the ledger. Some of the documents. But all the equipment's gone. I don't know how I'm also going to harvest any of this now. None of that equipment will be enough money from insurance to even get close to what we had here. I don't know.
How? You all right? Fires like this tend to erase mistakes. You should count yourself lucky, Cal.
It just doesn't seem right, Sheriff. Rourke called me earlier in the day. Gave me one more offer. Told me I would never be able to stay up and break even with the way barley prices were going. And then this happens. You need to go find him. That's who you should be investigating right now. Something's just off with that guy.
I know this is hard right now, Cal. Take a moment and let my department work through this.
There it is. The remains of legacy. If that's what you want to call it. we've got all these fields nearing harvest, and this is the remaining rubble of everything. It's frustrating. It's defeating. Insurance now is seeming to be quite odd about the land and the equipment value. They've kind of said everything was just max depreciation. And, we said, luckily we did sell the barley when we did, because if we had lost that, we'd be at half of what we have now in the bank account. There's nothing really on the used market. I really don't know where to begin. I guess the only bright side is Josie said that, what we paid up front already because of that good deed, we don't have to pay the remaining part out of the harvest. She said just, what we get is what we get. She understands the barley prices are just crashing. It's just an all-around tough situation. Never thought it would come to this, or that we'd be in this situation. I really just don't know where to go with this now. The only thing that kind of shocked me was amongst this rebel, they found another box with more documentation on it. Showed some things. Some things that started to add up. The sheriff, I feel, hasn't been fully honest with me, and, well, this paperwork, this second deed, and the map that comes with it kind of says a lot. It kind of says that the sheriff, my father, and whoever this FR were doing something that was just not right, and they were trying to bury the tracks of what they did. Somehow this deed was signed before I was even born. My father had somehow acquired more of this land than there seems to be. And the other part that confuses me is it's just not these 4 fields. Somehow we own land to the north that was sold. Field 27, but it doesn't make sense. I never recall us owning that land, but it says for years we leased that land out, paid out. It's just not adding up. I'll leave it up to you, the viewers, for the second half of the season. Should we continue on and try to rebuild what we've lost? Or should we let the ashes remain and let the valley that we know fade away and be regrown by someone else? Make sure to leave a comment, smash that like button, and thank y'all for supporting the first 4 episodes of this series.